Hi, this is Wishop. Welcome to your weekly video covering March 16th, Monday through Sunday, March 22nd. So I'm actually traveling, so I'm in sort of a different place and it might be a little bit noisy. I don't even know how it's going to go, but that's kind of fitting for this week. So if I haven't bored you with mentioning it or you haven't heard it already, today is the 7th of the Uranus-Pluto squares, which we've been going through for about 2.5 or 3 years. And what they do is they put Pluto, which is very much about being real, being honest, but being very intense with issues of life and death and sex, like really kind of the heavy, real stuff of life, and asking you to deal with unavoidable change and brutal honesty. And those are being pitted against Uranus, which is lightning inspiration and revolution and throwing away the status quo and trying to start things which are new and innovative. So those two aspects, which both have a lot of benefits to coming to terms with, are being pit against each other, and we've all been asked to sort of find a balance between them. So probably you can already think of the places in your life where you've made changes. So this 7th time that we go through this is really hopefully just a kiss on the way out the door of a kind of disruptive house guest who's brought in a lot of light and interest into our lives, but now we'd be sort of happy to see the back of them. So if you've already been making a lot of changes, you may already sort of know where things are at with you. But this energy can be very unsettling. And Mercury is moving into Pisces, and we're going to have a new moon in Pisces at the end of the week, which is also going to be a new moon solar eclipse near the last degree of Pisces. So it's another sort of endings kind of thing, even though it's a new moon, which is traditionally about new things. Because it's in the last degree of Pisces, it's going to be about old things. And because there's a lot of action in Pisces right now, your emotions are likely to be very stirred up. So think of this as kind of a game of planetary pinball. It's a storm that's going by, and if you already know the way this has affected you, maybe a good thing is just to kind of hunker down this week a little bit and be kind to yourself and try to have compassion for other people who are feeling it and appreciate the changes that you've made. Virgo is going to move in, Venus is going to move into Taurus. And Venus as a personal planet is always your friend, and she's loving and abundant, and she's moving into earthy Taurus where she is very happy. So if you want to calm your rattled nerves, a way to do that is to link in with that Venus energy in Taurus, which is things that are very sensual, like things that taste good, feel good. Get a mani-pedi if you love it. Go take a walk in nature and connect with that. Pet your animals. Wear your favorite perfume. Whatever it is that gives you that feeling of appreciation of beauty and of these concrete, tangible things, really spend your time doing that, and that'll be a good antidote for this very unsettled feeling. Another thing I want to mention quickly before I get to the cards, and I'm going to run out of time if I don't get to the cards, is that this energy, Saturn has gone retrograde in Sagittarius, which means you can feel very, as you look back on your goals, you can be questioning them, which means that with all this change of the Uranus-Pluto square, you could be going, what have I done? I've done the wrong thing. You may be in the middle of new job, new house, new relationships, these changes that you've felt compelled to make. And now this week gives you this crippling feeling of self-doubt, second thoughts, third thoughts, fourth thoughts. Now is not the week to look back on those and go, I've screwed everything up. You haven't. There's just a storm going on out there. So try to have some confidence in yourself. Try to feel good about who you are. The I Ching for the week that I got is 17, which is following. And 17 is all about adaptability. It's just rolling with the currents, which is very much what we're talking about. Like, just go with the currents. Know who you are on the inside, but try to roll with the tides a little bit. And actually, it's an optimistic hexagram, it will bring success if you roll with the tides. And the number 17, of course, always reminds me of the star, which in the tarot is a supremely hopeful, healing card. And also 1 and 7 is 8, which is the strength card. So that just reinforces that message. Just feel well grounded. Try to feel as well grounded as you can. Go with the flow on style issues. You know, if people aren't really speaking in the way that you completely like and things just aren't really in the style that's your favorite, just go with that flow, because things are very much changing. And right now, you know, those buds of your life want to bloom, but they can't bloom unless they really upset that smooth surface of ground. You know what I mean? So all the soil is being disturbed. It's giving way to flowers, and we're going to love that. But right now, it's upsetting the smooth surface of things. So try to just be calm and gentle with yourself as that happens. So the random tarot cards for the week are, and I went back to the classic Rider-Waite. Hello, Death, you are my friend. Flip it over. 10 of Cups in reverse. And the Judgment card in reverse. Okay, so we've got 2 major arcana cards, which tell you sort of the significance of the week, right? It's a big week. And then we've got this 10 of Cups in reverse, which is typically a completion card. So death, of course, is not necessarily about physical death. In fact, you know, hardly ever is. I get it all the time, and I'm still here. So it is about transformation, and in the upright position, it's about a very useful transformation. You know, you're heading toward this sunshine. If you see that sun on the right side between those 2 towers, that's where death's going. And death is not letting any of these things slow him down. He's on the white horse, and he is moving in that direction. So, you know, where you've got these figures that seem to be sort of throwing, you know, wealth, riches, or traditions in front of him, saying, stop, stop, stop. Death is like, nope, I'm on the road of transformation, and that's where I'm going. So probably you have felt that unavoidable force of transformation, and it's been working its magic on you. And, you know, I think we're going to have a lot to be grateful for. Death is only 13 in the major arcana, so we've got miles to go on this journey. So this is really just a waypoint, but a very, very important one. Where we look at the 10 of Cups in reverse. This is a beautifully happy card, right? This is a card of great emotional satisfaction. The fact that it's in reverse means you may feel moments of emotional dissatisfaction, but the real state of affairs is actually this, right? This really is the state of affairs, or it can be, or it's on its way, but you may not be recognizing that. And you know what? The planets are a little bit stacked against us to recognize this. So realize this emotional state of affairs, or this feeling of dissatisfaction, is not a sign that you've done anything wrong or that you're screwing up. This is just kind of the way things are at the moment. It's the ripples in the pond. And I think this is emphasized actually with the Judgment card in reverse. The Judgment card upright tends to be a card that's a wake-up call, you know, a card to awake to a new life from an old life. The fact that the Judgment card is in reverse means you may not need to make those kind of drastic decisions right now. You may not need to be reborn. In fact, you may already have been reborn. So when you hear that call, that wake-up call, think about whether or not that's for you. It may be that this is a call for someone else, or it's just the feelings of these huge planets passing by. But if you've already had things going on in your life that could be seen as a rebirth, then you're already doing this work. So try not to feel edgy or second guess yourself. If you've been following your heart and really trying to ground yourself and know who you are and know what your principles are and know what's important to you, what you hold dear, you're fine. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, I have to rebirth myself. No. Death is saying we're already doing it. It's already happening. So don't worry about it. You've got it in hand. So here is the Oracle card for the week. And I've got the book with me in case I screw it up. Oh, that's beautiful. Isn't that sweet? Okay. 20, flying. So I'll tell you the first thing I think about when I see this card. I see 20, which is, is actually the same as the Judgment card here. 20 being a very round, sort of cyclical, completing a cycle kind of number. And you can see that this, I guess, winged horse is flying above this circular spiral, which tends to represent sort of the spiral of life. But it's flying. It's flying above with ease. All this color and these blooming flowers, they look like joy. It looks like a springy sort of joy. So it's like, try to let yourself fly through this, because it's all happening and you've probably done great things. And so you just need to just enjoy the ride if you can. So let me see what Colette Baron-Reed, who did this oracle deck, The Enchanted Map, has to say about it. Hang on just a sec while I look this up. Okay. Sorry about this. Okay. It says, flying, you have the power to see things from a higher perspective. If you were a bird flying high in the air, what would you see? When you soar above life's challenges and opportunities, a new perspective becomes available. Today you have invisible wings that allow you to swiftly bring your circumstances into alignment with your highest purpose. This is a sign your waiting is over, your hard work is paid off, and the things you hoped for are no longer beyond your scope. You have the ability to reach for the stars and find one with your name on it. Spread your wings and soar. The angels are waiting for you. So this sort of, I feel like it reinforces the rest of the message, which is that you're already doing it. You've already done great things. So the key thing is to be kind to yourself, keep your focus on the things that you want and desire, keep your focus on love and compassion for yourself and other people, because this may be a rather emotional week, and realize that if people are experiencing emotional turbulence, that's kind of to be expected. And the more that you can maintain your even poise, sort of see those currents and ride with them, probably the happier week you're going to have. And you're going to be a great help to people in your life who may be feeling unsettled and may not quite understand why. If you can be sort of a steadying hand at the tiller for them, that's probably going to be of great service, and that's a wonderful thing too. So please have a wonderful week. The things next week, at least planetarily, get much more focused. So look at this week as this sort of camera refocusing itself as we really try to get that focus down. It's going to swing one way, it's going to swing the other way, but we're refining right down to that new set of wonderful goals that we have, and those dreams that we want. So have a great one. I think it can be a great one. Look for miracles, because on a week like this, they're going to be all around you. Little signs and signals that you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So take those, keep them close to your heart, treasure them, and I will see you next week. Rock on with your bad selves.